Hello and welcome back to a very brief video on the Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord developer blog, which has just been released today. It's about Tailworlds' thoughts on their experience at E3, so I'm going to be going through this blog and identifying some of the things that you guys might not know already. However, most of it, I am going to warn you now, is things that we already know, which is a shame, but at the end of the day, it's just what they think about E3. The blog opens with them appreciating everybody that came to play the game and everybody that was interested in the company and the game. Obviously, they had a lot of attendance. Apparently, no one was actually able to get in the booth because there was so many people there all the time. Apparently, there was hardly a second where the computers weren't free from people playing Bannerlord. So I'm going to be going through, as I've said, and highlighting the most important parts. So the most important paragraph, I think, in here was their justification for why they actually showed the gameplay that they showed. So they said that they actually showed the Sergeant gameplay because it allows players to be part of larger battles at the earlier stages of the game, giving them the taste of command without being too overwhelmed by the whole Mount & Blade Bannerlord sandbox and battles. So it also serves as a reward for progress. It connects players more closely to their AI peers and adds a variety to the battle gameplay. In our system, we also allow the player to designate control to the AI at any time. So that could possibly mean that the AI can just take its own incentives whether you're a sergeant or not. I presume it's the Lord's orders that are given to the AI instead of your own orders. That's fairly good because that means you can just go around the map and couching without worrying about ordering all your troops around. I know probably some of the best bits about the single player are ordering your troops and positioning your troops, but I know maybe a lot of the new players won't be too interested in that and they just want to kind of charge around and couch people with their heavy lance. The second most important paragraph talks about their arena mode. So it reads, in addition to the battles, we allowed attendees, or the people that are playing Bannerlord, to warm up in Bannerlord's version of the arena brawls, which is essentially what a tournament master offers you to do if there isn't currently a tournament in town. So that's kind of like a little insider of what the single player tournament kind of system will work. So they use this arena mode to highlight some of the combat features which we would have seen in the videos. So that included the directional shield blocking, the shield bash, and the attack chaining, which we've talked about in previous videos. Go ahead and check them out if you haven't already. So these different combat additions all fit very well into Mount & Blade's combat system, and they still think it maintains the intuitive nature of the combat while adding some depth and variety, so it's a little bit different from its previous game. According to the blog, it's very easy for older players who have played their previous game, Mount & Blade Warband, to pick up the new combat styles, obviously with the shield blocking and the shield bash and the attack chaining, etc. It goes on to say that these are not the only new combat features in Bannerlord, but we're still finalizing the system, and they are definitely looking forward to talking about it more in the future. That word, talking about it more, can we have some more showing, please? Maybe even be able to experience it more in the future. That would be nice. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to mention that I have got another video coming up on Bannerlord from somebody that actually got to talk to the Tailworlds developers and actually got some very nice insights to the technical side of the game. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned over the next few days. The penultimate paragraph reads, of course, we understand a lot of you are looking to hear a release date and more details on the politics and campaign side of the single player. In our opinion, the most important thing is to deliver a great game, worthy of our efforts and your expectations. We have so far avoided giving a release date thinking it would distract us from our attention to quality. The campaign is something that we definitely should show off more, and we're looking at the best way to do so. I think Tailworlds are kind of like, not control freaks, because being a control freak in this kind of game can be a very good thing. I can definitely appreciate their attention to detail and how much work they're putting into it. They just want to get the best game possible, and they don't want to kind of limit themselves and put themselves under pressure by having a forced release date. But at this point, it's getting a little bit beyond a joke, and it has been a while, and so many players are waiting for this game. It's going to be one of the biggest games in this genre ever. I think along with Kingdom Come Deliverance, these two games are going to be a very big boost to the medieval genre of games. The final paragraph reads, in other news, we would like to introduce our new community manager, Callum, who will work alongside Frank and help improve our direct communication with you. That's a very positive move from Tailworlds. Having Frank as the only community manager was, I assume, had a lot of pressure on him because everyone went to him and saw him as the face of Bannerlord, and he can only say what the kind of that head developers tell him to say. So that will wrap it up for today's blog. There wasn't a lot of new information in there, well, very little to be quite honest, but it's kind of just reinforcing the end of the Bannerlord news at E3. However, I think it's the 26th of August is when Gamescom ends, so it's the 22nd of August is Gamescom, and that's the next time I think we're going to get some Bannerlord news, unless Tailworld's published some stuff in between now and then. So stay tuned for that, and also I've got another Bannerlord video coming up this week sometime, hopefully, so again, stay tuned for that. So I think that'll pretty much do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next battle.